a great morning.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. What's going on, everybody? Will with Tangible Triumph. We have Chris here, part of Team Tangible, with Chris's confidence. And I also have Merv with us, who is a practitioner of Jiu-Jitsu at the Vinnie Brightman Gracie Carlson Academy. And you know, we're going to discuss this week's topics amongst each other. He also has his own little gig on the side that he does that he'll be talking a little bit more about after. If you haven't known, we're at the Loaded Go, and make sure you come in and get your free coffee this week. 5 free coffees right here on Church Street in Naugatuck. So, Chris, we'll jump right into your topic this week, observation, right?
Talk about mindfulness this week, and our subtopics of mindfulness, yes, we talked about observations, because we live in a world that people seem to feel like they're lacking something. They feel like they deserve better, that they could get more, what if, you know?
Yep.
And I need people to be more aware of that you really don't need more.
Yep.
Once when you get more, you always want more. So it's, you know, appreciating what we have in the now.
Yeah.
For sure, man. I mean, I feel like that's a big thing a lot nowadays when people suffering from depression. Like, I have a friend, you know, he's always been this type of guy that wanted more. You know, he has a lot, has his own business and everything, but still has this crave inside to get more. And the next thing you know, I heard he's on medication for depression, and it's like, just came back from a trip to Bali, stuff like that. Like, you know, you from the outside looking at him, you never guess, you never know. But the same thing, you never know what people are going through.
Sure.
But it comes down to being happy with what you have. You know, being happy with what you have. Yes, you want to strive for more. Yes, you have that drive.
Yep.
But always want to come back. Like they were touching on balance, having that balance. You know, the yin and the yang. You know, things like that. You always want to have that self-awareness.
Sure, absolutely. And you know, one thing I discussed this week is it is what it is. You gotta kind of accept the world for what it is, and you can't harp on things for being a certain way or not being a certain way. You need to kind of hang on to what you have and go with the flow. You know, work with what you've got and build from there. You know, you're building a foundation, and you need to run with that. So, Chris, I think we even talked about meditation and whatnot, right?
Yeah. The sati, it's called.
Yeah.
One of the Buddhist 7 factors of self-enlightenment.
Yep.
Okay, and I touched base on it because I told you I'm really into Western philosophy.
Yep.
And the 7 factors, you know, it's number 1, as in being mindful. This is number 1, as in to silence your mind. You know, think of the balance of your mind. And, you know, step 1 to really enlightening yourself into, you know, becoming who you are is you're going to need to take that step back and silence that mind.
Yeah.
You know, to really truly understand who you are.
Well, you wanna also have that silence to even hear your own thoughts.
Yeah.
What's going through your mind is who you are at a core, I think.
I said in one of my videos, we're constantly thinking all the time.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
And it's hard to think about thoughts all the time, you know, because that's all we do is we sit in our mind and we think about the next thought and the next thought.
Right.
So you can't go forward with that unless you take a step back and think about what's actually going on.
Sure, and we could take this right to the mat. You have to be a student of your own thoughts. Just like on the mat, you need to be a student to Jiu-Jitsu. You don't own Jiu-Jitsu. Jiu-Jitsu owns you.
Yeah, pretty much you're a student to life.
Yeah.
Life trials. I was gonna ask you, have you guys had this meditation and everything before?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh, yeah.
it's one thing, man. Like I haven't practiced it that often, but the time when I did, you know, it took me like a week or so to get it right. And you're talking about silencing your thoughts. What it does is really recenter your whole mental frame of thinking. And
Yeah.
what it is, like I had this really bad stomach ache one time, and that made me a believer because through focusing on breathing, and that's the only way. Because even though you try to silence your thoughts, something always creeps in all the time.
Oh, yeah.
But like if you could just focus on your breathing, you know, in and out, and then just how your body is responding to that breath going in and out, and that just brings your mental waves down slower and slower. And then you slip into this meditation phase where everything is just, you know, I don't know how to explain it, but like everything's just calm. You're not thinking about anything else. Very copacetic, that's a perfect word. And believe it or not, man, my stomach ache went away. Like I had this thing going on for like days. And every time I tell people, it's like that's like the first time they ever heard of it getting away of something physical, like a physical pain. You know?
It happens though. That's part of being
That made
aware of
me
your
angry.
own body.
It's just like, you know, we take showers every day, right? We clean our bodies to clean off the smell. I mean, sometimes we're going to have to cleanse our mind
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
to get rid of that toxic energy that's going to be in your mind, you know?
Yep. Hey, just so you all know, this week's word that you got to bring into the Loaded Goat for your coffee is progress. We're talking about progress this week, and it's going to be progress. So, I really want to touch on the subject of taking responsibility and, you know, acceptance of who you are, what you're doing with your life, and where you are in life. You need to be very aware of what you're doing with yourself, why you're doing it, and really understand who you are. And there's nobody like you in the world. There's nobody like Chris, and there's nobody like Merv. We're all unique in our own way, and we are developing our own paths. But guess what? If you listened about the story of the mountain, we're all grains of sand on the edge of the ocean, making a beautiful scene. We're working together towards the bigger picture. You know, and I think people lose sight of that. We're supposed to be here for each other, not fight each other. You know?
To touch base on that is, you know, yes, we're all our own individual beings, but if it wasn't for having the other,
Yep.
we wouldn't have oneself.
Sure.
You know, that's why we are all one, as in a unit together on this earth.
Like
We're
the
all-
saying goes, no man is an island.
Yeah, it's true though. You don't stand alone, you'll get knocked right down, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like the links on a chain.
And that's,
The thicker the link, the stronger the connection, right?
That's right. That's right. That's
And
a
it
good
touches base on what I was talking about, as in being mindful of others.
Yeah.
You know, yes, we are our one individual beings, but if you're not mindful of others, then what are you gonna take from others? What are you gonna learn? How are you gonna grow? Because without knowledge of other people, you're never gonna gain knowledge.
Sure.
If you were just one person, you're never gonna gain the knowledge or wisdom to be successful.
Sure, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more.
empathy and gratitude.
And it goes right into what you were talking about this week, as in change. You know, we're all changing.
Yep, everything's in constant motion.
Yeah.
I mean, even when you get a good roll in on the mat and you're moving and you got that fluent move,
Yeah.
that's change, but you're developing with the change of each and every move of the body. you
Yeah,
know?
it's all right. So that really ties into jujitsu in the sense that, you know, you have a position, you're going for something that you're so focused on getting, but yet your opponent adjusts to that and he put up a good defense. That's all. That's what jiu-jitsu a lot is about, offense and defense, right? So now, what do you do when he puts up that defense? You give up on what you're going for? No, you adapt and overcome, and that's really huge. You know, you're talking about progress, talking about change. You know, a lot of little things from jiu-jitsu you can take away and apply to your everyday life.
yeah.
You know, and that's what it's all about. You know,
Yeah, they teach that in a lot of stuff. Me being an Eagle Scout growing up, be prepared.
Oh, yeah.
Boy Scout motto, you know.
And it's as
That's
simple
it.
as that.
Be prepared, as in be prepared for what's coming next. Be prepared, you know, for anything that could
mentally,
change.
physically,
Yeah.
that's everything.
Yep.
Total preparation.
All right, so I guess we'll jump right into it. This week I'm going to be discussing self-reflection. And what are you going to be talking about, Chris?
Self-affirmation.
I love it.
You know, affirmation is, you know, asserting oneself, you know, more or less. So I want to talk about that because, you know, we are our own being, you know, as we're talking about it right now. And, you know, we control our own existence. And this week I'm going to have a lot of content coming out with this self-affirmation.
Cool. Hey, Merv, good to have you with us today. I think our
Happy to be here.
discussion was great. And do you want to give your channel a shout out?
Oh, Jets Guys on Instagram. Feel free to check me out. I have a lot of new content coming out, or even stuff that I find interesting. It's pretty much my personal blog, Jiu-Jitsu. Started when I was a 3-stripe white belt, and it's documenting my journey all the way to black belt throughout the years. So everything Jiu-Jitsu related that I go through is going to be up there. Got my blog as well. So just check us out on Instagram. That's where I'm more active on. So yeah.
Great. All right, everybody. Have a great week.
Peace.